Hey everyone, and welcome to NorthJersey.com Sports Show Live. I'm Dave Rivera, the sports editor at NorthJersey.com and the Bergen Record. We're part of the USA Today Network. Really thrilled and excited to talk sports tonight. We're going to talk a little college basketball. We're going to talk some college football and recruiting, and we're going to talk a little bit about Major League Baseball, NFL, and NBA. All the great stuff that we're missing out on these days, but always fun to talk about. We've got two great guests tonight. First off, we have Jared Rhoden, Seton Hall basketball player, just finishing his sophomore season. Jared, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
It's great to be here. I'm grateful for being on the show today.
Well, we're happy you're on. And we also, tonight, we're going to be speaking with St. Joseph Regional football player, Audric Estime, the junior. Audric, thank you for joining us too, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Great. Well, we're going to catch up with Audric in a little bit. Let's start with Jared. And let's bring in Jerry Carino, our good friend from the Asbury Park Press, APP.com. Jerry, my man, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. And so are the Seton Hall Pirates after a fine season. Jared Rhoden, a man of many positions, sophomore forward, guard, whatever they asked him to do. Huge contributor for the Pirates this year, much improved, star in the making, 9.1 points, 6.4 rebounds a game, led the team in rebounding, and hit one of the biggest shots of the season at Butler to win a game at Hinkle against a fifth-ranked team. We'll go back to that. But Jared, thanks again for joining us. Dave, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, absolutely, Jared. When you look back at this Seton Hall season, so many positive things, great games. You guys were on a roll. You look back on the season now. What do you think about it? And what does it make you feel when you reflect on it?
The season was tremendous. I mean, just being around those guys and developing the relationship that we did develop, and just going through different adversity timings throughout the year was just crazy, and it was just humbling. It was a really humbling experience to be a part of. Losing Sandro and losing Miles throughout the season kind of allowed the other guys to develop. And I think that's what kind of really made our season full and allowed us to prosper in the end.
Jared, you were entrusted with a big role, and it seemed like you really thrived in it. But you tell me, how do you think you grew as a player this year?
Overall, I thought I did the best I could. The older guys and playing with seniors and juniors, mainly while I was on the floor, it kind of taught me to be patient and learn and kind of study those guys and look up to those guys and find my opportunity within playing with those older guys. And it was just amazing to play with those older guys and to see and learn so much from them. And being around Coach Willard and being around my coaching staff every day and them instilling, so much confidence in me to go out there and to do those things and play with them was just an amazing feeling to feel.
You mentioned confidence, and I got to go back to the game in Hinkle Fieldhouse. What's it like to silence Hinkle with a game-winning shot? And looking back on that shot, what did that do for you in terms of confidence and saying, "Hey, I can do this in a big spot"?
Well, that shot was just an amazing time for me. It was kind of a personal achievement where I say I made a big-time shot in college basketball. Changing my mentality after that shot was just amazing. My teammates and Miles having confidence in me during that play was just amazing. And it was really a turning point for me. I saw as a basketball player overall, because I just felt like I got my nerves out finally. I kind of was turning the book and becoming a different type of man on the basketball court.
One more thing about the season that was, Jared, the abrupt way it ended. Obviously abrupt for you guys, abrupt for everybody. What was that like? And with all the simulations that have been publicized over the last month, how often have you sort of visualized the NCAA tournament or thought about what it would be like? I'm sure that's human nature, right?
I sit around this house all day just pacing back and forth, thinking about what if. And I think we had the ideal team to do it. Our team was just so unique, and it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity I think that we had. And it was devastating for all of us to just go back home and be home in March. I'm sitting on my couch in March, and it's just crazy. Growing up, I always wanted to play during March, be a part of the Big East tournament, play in an NCAA tournament and to be home sitting back watching and just seeing it all get taken away from us was it was hard. But we're gonna be better, and we're gonna do better next year.
Jared, before I ask my next question, I just want to follow up on this one.
Right.
You know, the days leading up to the Big East tournament, and the Big East tournament actually started, and there was actually a game being played when they stopped the tournament. What was going through your guys' minds throughout those few days? Maybe was there a distraction? Maybe not knowing if you're going to play, should you play, all that kind of stuff. What was going on through in the locker room?
Well, our main focus was just to approach the week, the practices, the games, everything as if it was normal. It was hard. It was definitely hard, hearing the different stories, just playing and hearing just people talk so negatively about what was going on around the world, and still trying to focus on, being a athlete at the end of the day was kind of hard. But, we still put our hard hats on every day. We went to work, and we still studied like as if the game was going to happen up until the last second when St. John's and the Creighton game stopped. So, it was a nonstop grind no matter what, playing or playing not. So
now what do you do? Everybody's in isolation, quarantine. How do you stay sharp? How do you, what are you doing in terms of exercising, staying in shape? What kinds of stuff are you doing right now?
Personally, I've been just working out in my basement, going for runs around the neighborhood. I got a little weight system downstairs in my basement, so I've been kind of, doing regular things, benching, squatting, and just kind of trying to, maintain my body weight and do things such as, we actually had a Zoom meeting today with the team where we all talked, and we kind of just discussed about where everyone was living and how everyone was doing, and if anybody needed anything. And we kind of, coach said he was going to send out like a little care package for us to, get some band work and, send us some workouts. I actually spoke with Jason, who's our weight trainer, and he sent me over a bunch of different things. I actually took some snapshots and some pictures of my little workout area. And then he emailed me a little a thing back where it was just, based on my individual workout system, he kind of made me a little own workout.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Very cool. If campus remains closed into the summer, Jared, what's the plan? Are you guys kind of playing it by ear, or will you continue to just do things like kind of like today with Zoom meetings and workouts sent to you?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Willard said the hope is that we can get back for the June session. It's going to be hard. I mean, we're going to just play it by ear, like you said, because, we never really know with this thing. It's a tragedy, and it's only getting kind of bigger from what I can see. So we could just pray and hope that we can get back in the gym soon.
All right, let's go to next season. And I know everybody's all fired up already. Fans, turn the page quick, man. You're fired up about the 2020-2021 Pirates. Jared, when you look at this team, and there's talent, there's experience, when you look at this group, obviously you lost some really good heart and soul guys, but what do you see for next year's team?
I see a lot of potential. We have a lot of depth once again. We have a lot of new guys coming in. We have a lot of experience as well with older guys like Sandro and Miles, and I think the bar is going to be set really low for us, and I think that's going to be kind of bring us back to my freshman year when the bar was kind of set low for us as well. So I think our main goal is going to be to kind of approach it similar to the way we did my freshman year, and kind of just have that dog mentality where our backs we're not going to be the hunter. We're going to be hunting people once again. So, everyone can keep sleeping on us, but we're going to be right back where we were last year.
Well, Jared, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you guys take the court again next season. I know it's going to be exciting. I know the Seton Hall fans can't wait to see you guys get back out there again. So thank you so much. Good luck to you. And I'm sure we will see you down the road. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jared. Great job.
It was a great time talking. Thank you.
Take care. Well, that was Jared Rhoden of Seton Hall. And now let's bring on Audric Estime from St. Joe's Regional High School, running back. And we're also going to bring on Chris Eisman to speak with Audric. And Chris covers college sports and pro sports NBA for NorthJersey.com and The Record. Chris, welcome to the show. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Audric, the question is, how are you doing? Everyone's been in isolation, quarantine, you're at home. You're taking online classes, you're away from your teammates. Could you just kind of sum up what the past, 3, 4, 5 weeks have been like for you?
Oh, yes, it's been great. I'm trying to get as much out of it as I can during this tragic time. So I've just been working out at home, working out in the field. I'm trying to stay in contact with my teammates to try to keep social distance from them. So I'm trying to keep our bond together. So I've been trying to do whatever I got to do to stay fit right for the season during this tragic time.
Yeah, Audric, I mean, how have you been able to stay in contact with your teammates and your coaches? I mean, are you guys doing video conferencing, or are you just a lot of text? I mean, how have you guys been in contact, and what sorts of workouts have you been able to do without access to the school and the fields and things like that?
Oh yeah, we had a Zoom meeting last week, so we're on Zoom, and we all are in a big group chat on Snapchat and on all our iPhones. So we've been FaceTiming, texting in a group chat, and one of my kids on my team have gyms in their basement, so I'll go there. The one kid on my team named Sai, he's a defensive tackle, so he has a gym in his basement. So I'll go there, get some workout, or I'll hit the Nyack High School field, my town field, run some hills, do some field work, cone drills. So yeah, things like that.
Now, you're obviously a highly rated recruit, one of the best in the country, and a lot of schools are looking at you, and a lot of schools are interested in bringing you to their campus. But obviously now with what's going on, you're not allowed to travel, and coaches can't come to see you. So that's kind of been an interesting process, I'm sure. I mean, how have you been in touch with college coaches who are interested in you, and how are they kind of giving you an idea of what their school is like when you can't go see them right now?
Kind of like the same thing with my teammates. We've been on Zoom like every day, FaceTime every day, doing virtual visits, doing meetings with all the coaching staff. So I've been in contact with them every day, doing text messages. So I'm trying to keep a great relationship and build an even better one through a phone and through computers, since you can't see them in person.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Audric, this is obviously a big time in recruiting, the springtime, and all the colleges have their spring games, and those are big events, and they're all fun, and everybody loves to go visit them. So a part of you must be really missing out on what's going on, because this really could have been a fun time of year for you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely missing out on the spring games, but I'm gonna have to go visit the school in the fall, see the environment of the games during the fall time. But it is what it is.
How much does something like this now motivate you for your senior season? And what are some of your goals that you want to accomplish when things get going again?
This motivates me a lot, because when things get tougher, you just have to move harder, work harder, and my goals are going out the roof right now. I have big goals for my senior season plan.
And Audric, in terms of any special message, I know you stay in contact with your teammates. Any special message for your teammates and your coaches? Anything you want them to know? That's going through your mind right now these days.
Oh yeah, we just gotta stick together, stay as one, keep on grinding, keep on trying to reach that goal that we all have, the state championship. And we all gotta stay as one team, pray for each other, gotta check in each other, just try to stay together and keep our bond together as strong as possible as we can.
Well, that's the truth. And, listen, we wish you the best, Audric. Thank you so much for coming on. I know this can't be an easy time for you or for anybody here. We're looking forward to a fall season. We all want to watch high school football. We love it here in North Jersey. You know that. So we wish you all the best of luck. And I'm sure we'll be running, into you down the road. And we'll be catching up with you soon. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate
it. Take care.
Take care.
That was Audric Estime. We thank him for coming on the show, and it's got to be a difficult time for all these athletes. Let's bring back Jerry Carino now into the fold, and let's also bring in Justin Toscano, who is our New York Mets writer. Justin, how's it going, sir?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I was kind of on deck for a few there, so I've gotten time to warm up, but good to get going now.
Wait, are you the closer? Is that what it is?
Yeah, man, I've been warming up. So yeah, I'm ready to throw a couple heaters in there.
I hope you're better than Diaz.
We'll see. I can't throw 99, but maybe my control is a little pinpoint.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to enter our final segment here, and I'm calling it the Final Four. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask 4 questions. We actually have a theme tonight, which is pretty cool because I made it up, and it's called Good Idea, Bad Idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question, and you guys are going to tell me if it's a good idea or bad idea and why. So we'll kick it off with Justin, since you are a Major League Baseball writer here. There was talk this week, the idea was floated that Major League Baseball could play its maybe entire season in Arizona and kind of keep everyone sequestered there, all the teams. What is that? Is that a good idea or is that a bad idea?
Not a good idea, not a bad idea, but an absolutely dreadful idea. I mean,
Wow.
we can't. I don't think
one of
they
the
can
options.
Yeah, I don't think they can execute this if they're relying on rapid testing and much more of that rapid testing. But even with that, even if they can get access to that with the general public still having that access, we can't do this unless there's a vaccine. Look, I know they want to sequester the players in the hotel, and the thought is they're only in the hotel or at the ballpark. But even without fans, with shared facilities, I mean, you think if they're in the hotel, sharing the same facilities as hotel staff, but if someone gets it in contact with hotel staff, that hotel staff member might have gone to the grocery store, and so those are ways you really might have a secondary outbreak with this. So I just don't see it's feasible. And I mean, not to mention, I mean, have you guys ever been, in Phoenix in the summer? I mean, 110 degrees standing outside playing baseball. I mean, but that's the least of the concerns. This is I don't see this as plausible unless this country makes tremendous strides over the next month.
And you know about Arizona, right, Justin? Tell us your connection to Arizona.
Yeah. So I went to Arizona State. Go Devils! Wish we could have gotten Cliff, who just committed to Rutgers, but that's all right. But it's hot there, man.
Show.
I mean, I've spent summers there, and it's just like it feels like an oven. You walk outside, and you're instantly sweating. So I couldn't. I mean, I know you got to take a lot of water breaks, and there's a dugout in baseball, but I couldn't imagine, just standing outside in that, even with a hat on.
Chris, Jerry, baseball. What do you think, Arizona?
I'm a little bit more optimistic. I don't think it's dreadful, so I'll just go with bad. But like, I just don't think it would work. The logistics are so much to overcome. I mean, our family's going to want to be sequestered. Our players going to want to sequester from their families for 4.5 months. That's something that has to be worked out. Obviously, the heat is an issue. I know we're all pining for baseball. We all want to see it, but I just don't think that that's the best way to go about it.
Jerry.
If I go downstairs right now and cook my shoe and eat it, it's a better idea than that. Dad, it's a dumb gimmick. It's a dumb gimmick.
It's not real. It just wouldn't seem real to me at all. So it's a terrible idea. It just can't do that.
It seems like there's something they wanted to get out there just to see what people thought about it, and kind of like
they kind of floated out there, and all of a sudden,
feedback. It's not such a good idea.
Yeah, they got their answer.
And Jerry's eating his shoe over it, so they may decide no. So
that's what we'll put over the top.
All right. Well, listen. Let's go to question number 2. And Chris, you'll start with this one since you are an NBA guy. Any chance that the NBA does come back? Should it come back? And what would that look like? Is NBA coming back, would that be a good idea or a bad idea?
I think that's a good idea because you're not obviously talking about an entire regular season. You're just talking about a couple of weeks of the playoffs. And I do think that they would just end the regular season at this point and skip right to the playoffs. And from what it sounds like, they would consider doing it in one central location. Las Vegas, Atlantic City, and the Bahamas have all been mentioned as possible central locations. So I think
voting for the Bahamas?
I'm voting for the Bahamas.
Yeah, what's
my vote. I think it's a good idea to try and get that done. I think, LeBron James said yesterday, he told Lakers reporters that, he wouldn't feel like there's closure on the season. Despite everything that they did this year, despite all the success that they had, there would be no closure until they have a playoffs and they can vie for a championship. So listen, if it's in July and they can get that window in and go to one of those central locations and play for a few weeks and crown a champion, I think it's an absolutely good idea. But obviously it has to be done in safe parameters and the logistics have to be worked out, but I would like to see that happen.
Justin, as an NBA fan, I mean, I'd like to see that happen. Bad idea if they try to finish out the regular season. Good idea if what Chris is saying. I think it's definitely possible to find a window in one of these cities, a central location that isn't a hot spot, and where you could sequester guys, where it'd be over a few weeks, and you could just bang it out there. And without any issue, without really any health concern, and as Chris mentioned in his baseball answer, just without players having to spend extended times away, from their families. I think it's a good idea to do that.
Jerry, you're going to be cooking your shoe over this one or no?
No, I like it. I think it's a good idea. Having witnessed, up close the heartbreak of a season without closure with college basketball.
Right, that's a good point.
I agree that if they can get the playoffs in August, do it. It will provide closure. It will be widely watched. If it's safe to do it, do it. And I will be a million times better than preseason football.
There are a lot of things better than preseason football. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, let's go to question 3. And Jerry, you're going to start with this one. You're a college hoops expert here. College basketball in New Jersey obviously was a great season. So, until, got ended quickly. Rutgers and Seton Hall, they were on their way to the tournament. Obviously, there was no tournament. Should they be honored, Rutgers and Seton Hall, by their schools? Should they even hang a banner, an NCAA tournament banner, since they figured they were going to be there? Is that a good idea or a bad idea to hang a banner for Rutgers and Seton Hall?
Good idea. And I think everyone thinks I'm crazy, and maybe I am. But a banner season deserves a banner. This was a tremendous breakthrough landmark season for New Jersey college basketball. Seton Hall's best team in at least 27 years. Rutgers headed to the NCAA tournament, was headed there for the first time since 1991. That's 29 years. Those players earned it. And I would have no problem if they wanted to raise a banner. Seton Hall is definitely getting one banner for winning a share of the Big East regular season title. I would have no problem if they stuck an NCAA tournament banner up there. They were both going. And they both could have made some noise, and Seton Hall could have made some big noise. So I'm all right with it. Again, maybe that provides a little closure. I wanted to see the NCAA tournament committee produce a bracket. Closure, it's important. So again, people think I'm nuts, but to me, good idea. I don't think it'll happen, but I'd love to see it.
Chris, Justin, what do you guys think?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, why not? Especially for Rutgers. Obviously, as Jerry said, the history there since 1991, it would have been the first time since then to make the NCAA tournament. And now these kids are, they're getting punished essentially for not making the tournament because of these circumstances, and it's a shame. And they should be honored for what they did. They did everything right towards the end of the season. After that dreadful loss to Penn State, they win the 2 games that they needed and essentially locked the trip to the NCAA tournament before it was canceled. And they didn't have a chance to do that. They didn't have a chance to make any noise in the Big Ten. So, yeah, I think that, that would be a nice way to kind of honor those guys for what they did. And they're going to get another shot this year. But really, the drought ended this year for them. So, for a team like Rutgers, I think that they deserved it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And you guys spoke a lot about the New Jersey teams, but I think a lot of programs should follow suit and give themselves that closure. Like out west, San Diego State was like 26-0 at one point, finished 30-2. They're probably their best team in school history, better than the Kauai team from 2011. And I think a lot of programs should give themselves that closure, because I think if you were to say it was a bad idea, would you be just speaking on, it's not legitimate? And I'm with Jerry. I wanted them to, I know it'd be tough for the bubble, but I wanted them to release a bracket to give these teams and these players some closure. They've worked their entire lives for this moment, and there are a lot of outgoing seniors. They deserve this.
All right, now let's go to our final question, which is the NFL. One thing that was not postponed and not pushed back is the NFL draft, and it's going to be held in 2 weeks, but in a different format, a much different format. It's going to be held, basically it's going to be a virtual draft. Everybody's going to be at their homes, making the moves and commenting from there. So, Justin, let's start with you. The NFL holding this virtual draft, not pushing it back, watching it on TV, whether it's Zoom, I don't know if it's going to be Zoom, but whatever. But is that a good idea or a bad idea, this virtual draft?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a way to preserve some normalcy and get a sporting quote unquote event, though not a game, but get a sporting event out there with little risk. I think they can easily do this. The toughest challenge is just probably the technical difficulties that might occur on some ends, but I like it. And I like the kind of the virtual, fundraiser idea that they had, and that Adam Schefter reported. But I think it's a pretty harmless way to get some smiles, on a Thursday night and get some sports back in the fold to talk about.
Jerry, what do you think?
Good idea. Good idea, because we need something, and they can do it.
It's true.
I mean, it's like a fantasy football draft. So it can
be like the Super Bowl. We're all going to be locked in.
It can be aired. We're on the air right now. They could do it. But what will turn it from a good idea to a great idea is if some general manager's 5-year-old runs in the room screaming bloody murder.
In the background, yeah.
I will really be able to identify with that.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think everybody needs a distraction at this point. I think this would do it. I'm just intrigued to see how it's going to work, and if anybody's going to get hacked. You know, every team's
I'm
draft process is going to get hacked. I don't know what could happen.
You're not saying the Patriots at all, are you?
No.
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not saying who I would point the finger at. I'm just saying.
All right, I'm just asking.
See what happens.
I'm just asking the question.
No, but I like it. I think it's a good idea. I think we all need something like that right now.
We do. And guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was a lot of fun, just talking sports. Even though, the games aren't being played right now, it's always fun to talk and always fun to get together with you guys. Jerry Carino from the Asbury Park Press, app.com. We love having you on. You got to come back and do this again. Chris Eisman, thanks a lot. And great interview tonight. And Justin, thank you so much for being on with us. And we really appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, guys.
And I'd like to thank everybody who made this show happen. Mike Pedagano, who's our director, does an awesome job. Sean Oates, Elise Toribio, Paul Wood, Brian Marin, and of course, our executive editor, Dan Sforza. Please subscribe to NorthJersey.com if you haven't already. It's fantastic. You get all your local news. You get your pro sports, your local sports, your features, dining, entertainment, everything under the sun. So please subscribe to NorthJersey.com. Especially in what's going on today, you really need to know the news and you need to know it fast. So NorthJersey.com is the way to go. Our next show will be next Thursday night. We'll have some more guests on. We'll talk some more sports. Also, next Wednesday night, tune in to watch Varsity Aces Live. That's also at 7:00, where we talk North Jersey high school sports. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So thank you so much for everybody for joining. I'm Dave Rivera, and we'll talk to you soon.